Good evening, everyone. Today is the 2nd of December 2024. We are officially into the last month of 2024, which is December. As usual, I will be going through Bitcoin, gold, NASDAQ, S&P 500, and the dollar index. Now, we will start with the dollar index. Let's try to figure out what the dollar did in today's trading session. There was not much, I didn't have many opportunities that set up, you could say, perfectly for me. Instead, but I did have a couple of trades that I will be sharing here. Just want to go back and see what my understanding was, how I did certain things, and just to try to figure out what we did right and what we did wrong today. So a level that I see here on the dollar index is this red line right here. That would be a very good trade to have once price, pushes towards this area here. I want to see how we react when we reach here, because as you can see, we broke structure. Now the retest of this would be something quite good to watch. That's what we see with the dollar index. I don't think there's going to be much trading that's going to happen on gold as well. Now, gold is just it's stuck on a range, right? Like you can see, we had this move towards the high side, unpredictable again. There was a certain level over here on the 4 hour that you could have had, and I caught this move right here. The problem with these types of trades when you're trading in between is it's basically timing the market. At this point here, the dollar index on last this was last Thursday or last Thursday evening. This was in the Asian session. The dollar index opened lower, and then gold did this move, and then look at that. We reversed the entire move and still back within the range. So there's nothing much you can do when gold is trading in such a range. The only trades that I see that are possible are, if we break above this high, continue trending up, or we break towards this low and then continue going back down. That being said, we're in the middle of the range, right? This is basically, I have all these alerts set up down here and up here because those are the only two range plays that I see on gold. Bitcoin in itself is a different story. Bitcoin is trying to run up, it's coming back down. It tries to run up, it comes back down. They're just trying to make sure that they have a good enough amount of liquidity before they head back up to 100,000, right? So this was a liquidity grab that we had today. There wasn't much in play. I did have a trade. My trade that I had was the break of this. I had this long. I tried the long again here. That was based off of this. It was a very, we punched out right then. And then I again went long. So if you go on down to the 15-minute, you see this right here. This liquidity grab over here over the 15-minute is where I had this final long. I like the way Bitcoin is moving. It gives you consistent type of trading is possible on Bitcoin, depending on the level that you're trading, of course, right? The weekly candle, we still look bearish. Would be nice to see Bitcoin above here to consider being a bullish scenario. Any longs that you would want to give on Bitcoin should be given 96,125 or even 96,125 as a stop. That's where I would, have my trades structure around. So I'm going to have some alerts set off if we come back down to this particular point. We may even not even just come back down, right? Like, it's Bitcoin. This thing, if you look into it from a 4 hour perspective, right? Price accelerated towards the high. This was once Donald Trump took office. We again stood high. This particular level here is, we didn't hold. We went below, and now we are sitting back at, we're holding this high basically. So you could say, if you were already previously in a long, well and good. If you're able to get along within in and around this area, well and good. Otherwise, you can't predict, right? Like you could go in here, but your risk will be way too high, and for potential chances of this even going lower, because anything can happen, type of situation. The MNQs, which is the Nasdaq. Let's see what we did. I had a couple of levels marked on the Nasdaq. I don't know if they got hit. I got a couple of alerts today. This was a good trade. I think this happened overnight. Wasn't paying attention to the Nasdaq last night. This could be a trade November, December. What are you saying? December 24th? No, oh, sorry, December 2024. Yeah, this happened overnight. No, this actually happened in the morning. Overnight was just range bound trading. Interesting. I can't believe that I missed this whole trade. Fair enough to say if we broke the high, the next move was right up there. So, what are we doing next? Right? We are still yet to break the high over here. I would like to certainly see us what we do at 2126. So 21,286.75. I'm going to throw in one of these lines over there because we're not working with these lines anymore. So I just tend to move them around. I'm going to take this high right here. So that's 21, 26, 825. So 21, 26, 8.75. Boom, there you have one of those lines. And then the other line is, the all-time highs. So what type of action are we looking into as we come across here or come till here? We will get to see. I would like to see what the VIX is. The VIX is the volatility index, right? This dictates how volatile the markets are. Let's see. VIX is actually sitting very, very low. So that's one of the reasons why you see these stocks ripping up, because once there is on heightened volatility, when there's uncertainty in the market, is when you find stocks tanking. When the volatility is low, you would find all these things ripping up. That's why you see the VIX is even going lower. It's not a good sign. Honestly, that's not a good sign. I would like to see the VIX in levels like this, right? Look at where the VIX was here. This was good trading, man. VIX being on 31, VIX being in 50s. This was in 2020, right? This was COVID. The market was ripping at these points. Not ripping, like they were basically, you wouldn't find like what we saw on gold today. Like you wouldn't find just absolute ranges, you know. But regardless, we have other things that are trending, so we would just trade that until the other cycle, fixes itself. Gold is just in a range. That's something that I would not be looking into, that keenly, I would say. Uh, the S&P 500, as you can see, has already broken all-time highs, uh, which is quite the scene. The high that we created today was 60, 68, and 50. So same thing, 60, 58.50 is where we would have. Oops, I messed it up. It's 60, 68, and 50. So 60, 68, and 50. 60. This is 68. Come on. Come on, boy. What are you doing? All right. So, um, it will be quite interesting to watch what price does once we get above here. I have to head out right now. So, I hope this play doesn't happen until I'm back. And let's see what's happening with this, which is the Dow. The Dow, is not that extended, right? Like we did extend last week, and now we're just chilling. We're just chilling at the all-time highs for the Dow as well. Is that a good sign? Is that a bad sign? Time will tell. Time will tell. Gold being in a range, is that a good sign? Is it a bad sign? Again, time will tell, right? Now, I like to see I like to trade in depth, right? I like to see exactly what the dollar index is doing, how far we are from certain levels, Let's see. 106,672. 106,672 is quite interesting, eh? So 106,672. Okay. And let's see. Do we do we head up here or do we not? May probably could head up here. I'd like to see what price does when we reach there. Looking into the 4 hour, the only place that I would like to see is once price reaches here. So until then, you're going to see just gold ranging. There's nothing much you can do when gold ranges like this. On the 4 hour on Bitcoin, right? Because I think like that's the only thing that matters right now, which is Bitcoin. Everyone is trading Bitcoin. So what do I do with Bitcoin? That's the question that I need to ask myself. I have levels marked on the low. I have levels marked here as well. Because selling can come in anytime, right? Selling could come in anytime. I would say we can exploit the certain move because past this, right? Let's look. Let's see how that looks like on the daily. Yeah, there is a bunch of selling over here. The clear trade would be above 100 and 100,005. Because if you have moves like this, right, like you have this steady type of push, and then you have the entire thing reverse. What's the point? What's the point? Um, let's see if this holds again, but otherwise, again, this is the same thing, right? It's the same thing. We're still in the range. We're trying to play it. We're caught in between. On the bigger side, right? If you look at the massive side of things, this is just 1, 2, 3 weeks of information. We don't have much. We don't have much information. The weekly candle, we reversed the entire thing, and now we're below that. We could see a sell-off. We could see the sell-off coming down till here, 92,000. Why not, right? Why not see the sell-off to 92,000? That's a very valid thing. If you can think that Bitcoin moved all the way till there, you know, that's a very valid place for price to go visit. Just say a high. But yeah, I mean, the more information you have, the clearer it becomes, right? That's what trading is. And I don't think that probably there might be a trade, there might be a trade if we have, let's say if we revisit any of these areas, I might be willing to take a trade. But otherwise, I don't know. I don't know. We'll get to know because think of it. Where could the sellers be sitting? So this guaranteed to us that there are sellers up here, right? Um, High of the day is this. Where's the open of this day? So we're well above the close. $98.65. So close is the next day. And let's see. 97s. Interesting. So this is 97,665. 97,665 is another place that price could, tend to head up to. As you can see, we broke it, we tested, failed, and then we had this huge, huge move. Went, failed, picked it back up, and then went back up. So this could be a very interesting area to watch what price does. We are going to mark it off here. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Maybe we get another liquidity grab of this area and then come back down. Who knows, right? Quickly, I just want to glance over the economic calendar to see what's up for this week. I just want to make sure that we're all well caught up with the news. This would take some time for some reason. It just takes forever sometimes to load. But that being said, it's quite interesting to watch, how price reacts to certain moves. It's quite interesting to watch how, all of this unfolds because we're getting to nowhere, to be honest. Like, think of it. If you think of it from a perspective of just being an outside observer, we're going nowhere. The world is aging, mankind is aging. All these systems that you have in place are like decades old. You know, you would see moments, or you could say cycles of this thing going up, this thing coming down. But apart from that, what else, right? What else? There's nothing else you can see. There's nothing else you can do either. So what is this? Okay, so here's my calendar. I think they have changed a lot of things, eh? Look at that. How do I get this? Why is this not even clickable at this point? Oh, there we go. So they updated TradingView. I don't know if it's fast for you guys, but for me it is. Like, again, my laptop fell down. I'm just, sometimes very clumsy when it comes to. Okay, look at that. Look at the selling comment. It's 7 o'clock. There is volume. Is it significant? No. Does this mean shit? No. But, you know, just keep an eye on it. Just keep an eye on it. Dollar index is coming down. This was at 106.66 at one point. Now it's at 106.38. Gold could be trending back to the high side. I want to see exactly what's up this week, right? And then I could move on. I'm not sure what all type of news events we have, but this thing keeps just loading. Like, what's up, man? And look at the Bitcoin. Look at Bitcoin pushing back up. Right? We had longs way down here. Should have just got into market open, eh? Ah, well, we'll see. We'll see. Oh, look at that. Gold arises ahead of key U.S. data. So that means there is something. I don't know if it's the Fed meeting or if we have any, inflation news coming. There has to be something. That's the interesting thing about the markets. There's always something to look forward to. But I think I'm gonna have to cut this short now because this is just rotating, and I don't got much time either. So I'll keep. Maybe we'll look into this tomorrow. I will look into this later today when I come back and sit down. But for now, this is it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Take care and have a nice evening.